Hello everybody and welcome to your golden ticket to success, freedom and happiness. Maria Kay with you here today, and I am over the moon to welcome Rani Malik with us. Rani is the CEO and founder of her own local London business, londonchitchat.com, and she's been an established businesswoman for over 20 years. She's passionate about leading women forward in their own businesses and to create the freedom and the joy that she has created for her own self. Rani, welcome.
Hello, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come online with you.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to hear you share your story, your insights and your passions with our audience today. Could you start, Rani, by telling us perhaps of a series of events or situations or something that might have happened in your life a while ago that inspired you to shape your life the way it is today, both personally and professionally?
So, I got married to a guy from over abroad. He was actually a really nice guy. But you know, with the mentality of Indian people, they expect women to stay at home and do this, do that. I did for the first few years of my thought, you know, one day I got up and I thought, I want to build and establish my own personality and my own stability and my own, you know, identity. So therefore, I started doing a variety of businesses. We started off by having international telephone line shops. Within a year, we established 12 shops, and then we sold all those after 2 years of running a fantastic business, as the calling card had been introduced in the country. And then we decided to open 2 pizza shops. We ran the pizza shops, and now we opened a chain of Indian restaurants. Now, the reason I started all this was because I wanted to get my own identity. In between, I had 2 beautiful young lads, 2 lovely sons who are now 19 and 14, and I'm very proud of them. They have supported me in everything. I didn't want to be one of these women who just dependent on their husbands. My husband has till this day never put the black bags out. He's never done the dishwasher. He's never changed a bulb in my house, because I want women to follow me and let you know, do things for yourself. Don't depend on people. Somebody might not be around. You might end up being on your own for the rest of your life. I have got friends who actually depend on their husbands to even pay the gas bill or sort the boiler out. You know, friends who've been without hot water and hot radio like 4 or 5 days because they've been waiting for the husband to sort it out. I could never be like 8 children. And Maria?
Yeah, carry on, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, and then I thought I went to a lot of networking events. I did a lot of networking from home. I joined a lot of organizations, and then one day I just woke up and I thought, you know what, I want to run my own London Chit Chat group, which is it's to do with the local community. It's to help women come out of their comfort zones and, you know, share their abilities, share their experiences, share their passion, you know, whatever they can do behind closed walls, to just come out the house and have a social life and become something, and not just depend on sitting on the sofa and looking at a screen. You know, this is why people are getting financial problems, because there's only one person earning. They're sitting at home, not getting a good health. They're not going out the house. They're not, you know, having a social life. They think that their life is just within the 4 walls, and the only social life they have is to go out with their husband or their kids, or, you know, family occasions and stuff, which is once in a year or twice a year. You know, they need to come out of their comfort zones and actually share their experiences, and just to actually make friends with people. You know, this is how relationships are breaking up today. That's why the divorce rate has risen so much, because women are suspecting their husbands that, oh, they don't want to spend time at home because the women don't want to come out the home. You know, it's a variety of everything. I'm not saying women are to blame, but they need to actually come out of their comfort zones and become something.
So are you saying that you are a huge advocate and pioneer but women perhaps who have come from a background where it wasn't the done thing for a woman to have her own separate life outside of the four walls, as you say, of the home? So
Yeah.
would you say that you're now a very prominent voice for these women and almost beckoning them forward into what you've managed to beautifully create for yourself? Would you be able to talk about how the women that come and see you can benefit? What do you do for them if someone comes to you and sort of says, I'm stuck in my life? How could you help them?
Well, I'll listen to them. I'll ask them a bit about themselves. I'll have this, a personal review within my head of what kind of a person this is. There's a lot of people who are actually ready to move on, but they can't because they feel let down, or they feel that they won't get the support from their partner. Now, what I would do is I'll do a personal assessment on them and tell them, well, why don't you start off in a smaller scale, or start off with about 4 friends. Ask them what are their views on what you do. Like, somebody could be making delicious samosas from home, or handmade jewelry, and ask a few friends and see how they feel about what you've just developed from nothing. My main thing is I want to build a common platform for the whole community. Can come in, women can come in from all different types of backgrounds, whether you're English, Christian, Muslim, anything, Nigerian, anything. I want everyone to actually come together and share different things. I mean, there might be a Nigerian woman who doesn't even know nothing about the Asian culture. I want to organize events where it's free events, charitable events, community events, networking events, where people can actually come and share that. Now, when women actually do come to me who have suffered it or they've gone through it themselves, I try and give them the best advice I can, and if I can't, I will put them through to somebody who can actually help them. But 99% I always do end up knowing somebody or another that can help this person further, and I will mentor them and then guide them, and then even give them a courtesy call after a week or so to see how things are going.
So it sounds amazing, and it sounds as though you're literally celebrating women and being that almost that force that is there, magnetizing out of them their talents, their abilities, the gifts that they've been born with, and perhaps have forgotten all about or haven't practiced for years because they've been focusing on other things. And I'm a mother too, and I know how easy it can be to get sucked into family life. It's not, it takes a lot of strength and focus to have something else going on in your life. So it sounds as though you are really doing some magical work out there. What would you say to a woman who is starting to wake up to the fact that there is more out there for her? And perhaps a guy too, because it works both ways. What would you say to somebody, let's say, who has been doing the same thing for year on year on year, and is perhaps starting to feel that kind of pull to move away from that? Perhaps they've been stuck and they're really not happy anymore, and they know there's more out there. What could you say to someone? What would the first step be? Even, perhaps if they might not be in London, they might not be able to come and see you. What bit of advice would you give them wherever they might be in the world?
Right. What I would do is, the first thing I would say is that if they're in the right frame of mind to actually move on, because there's a lot of people who actually say they want to move on, but once they start thinking about it, they still step back. Now, what I would do is I would support them in any way that I could. I would advise them that, what kind of field do you want to get into? I would find the best possibility or the best group in that area available. If it was somewhere local, or say, a couple of hours away, I'd actually sit on a train, go there personally and meet them and see what it's all about. Because the whole thing about, helping each other is, it doesn't matter where you're from, how far you are, everything is a phone call away, it's an email away, it's a Skype chat away. Whatever they want to do, I will support them all the way. Now, there is a lot of people who say that they are ready, and once they start getting some feedback from people, they feel they take the back seat again. Now, I will push that person till they actually get their dream. If you have a dream, and you want to fulfill it, then I think you should follow it, because you only live once, right? And you never want to live in regret and think that, oh God, I didn't get a chance to actually try that. It's like, people who have never had children will once in their life try it. Now, if God is is on their side and he thinks that, being reborn, starting off from you start off as a child, and then you get married and then you're a mother, or a husband, and then you never actually fulfill your own dreams. I fulfilled my own dreams once my kids got to a certain age, and I thought, this is me now. I want to help people all over the world. And there's a woman who has inspired me so much. I've never actually met this person. I've spoken to her on Facebook. Her name is Gillian Haslam, and she is absolutely phenomenal. She is amazing. She started off in Bangladesh in the slums herself, and today she travels the world all year round. She donates more than 20 million pound a month just on local charities. From a person who started off with nothing to what she is today, just because some people are born with it. Not everybody is born with it. It's what you make of your life. Your life is within your own hands. You can either make it, or you can break it, or you can just live the life that you're living at the moment.
I love that. So you're really saying, come on, guys, if you're sitting there watching this today and there's something inside of you that you haven't allowed to sort of come out into the open yet, or perhaps you've been locked in fear, you're sort of saying, come on, life is so sacred, life is so special, and it's a gift in and of itself, isn't it? So, yes. And that story you told about that amazing woman, it's just so mind-blowing, and you've talked about that before to me, and it has definitely stuck in my mind, that to come from such a deprived background and really in a place of power. So what would you say to somebody who might say, well, actually, I have to go and get a normal job, or a job as some people call them. I have to pay the bills. I can't focus on what my dream is, or what I'd love to be doing, because I need to go and bring the money in to pay the bills each month. What would you say to someone then?
I would say to people, I'd say, talk to a few people, see, when you're on your own and you've got this dream you want to fulfill, it is actually difficult when you've got all these other things in your mind. Now you have to prioritize what you actually want to do. I mean, you can always get like a part-time job to still pay your bills and still fulfill your dreams, or you can get a job where you'll never get to actually fulfill your dreams. So that it's a balance of both. You need to balance everything, prioritize your bills, your family, everything on one side, and never give up on a dream. A dream should always be followed up, because you only get this one chance in life. Now, I always wanted to be my own established businesswoman. My husband runs his own business. I run 3 businesses from home. I'm looking after my children. No matter what I do in the daytime, I'm back home by 3 o'clock. Even though they're 15 and 19, I like to be their mother when they come home through that door. And I will say that talk to a group of people. If you can't fulfill your dream, somebody could help you fulfill your dream. Somebody could help you. Even financially, mentally, physically. They could be there for you, and then you don't feel so let down and you don't feel so alone. Because even though you're married and you've got support from everybody, you don't feel so alone when people are in the same boat as you. I would say join clubs, organize a social group together. Could be a reading group where you start talking about different types of businesses. Go to a few networking events. There's a lot of things. Everything is via internet these days. You can find millions and millions of answers everywhere.
So you're saying simply just get the help, because it's out there. And I love that, because many years ago when I first started, because I was a single parent, I married very young like yourself, and things didn't go so well for me, and then I had to work my way back up out of some very sticky situations, and I didn't actually know that there was help out there apart from the traditional counselling, or usual kind of old style help that we know to be true. I had no idea that there were people like yourself and myself that people could go to get some real practical, emotional, spiritual, and like you say, hands-on physical support. So you're simply saying, don't do it alone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it alone. There's always somebody there to support you, whether it's physically, mentally, or financially. Somebody who really believes in your dream, and they can see the true passion coming from you, within you, and how you really want to make this successful. Somebody will, or somebody was there for me, somebody was there for you, Maria, and somebody is there for the third person. There's always somebody. We have a saying in our Indian culture, that even if you don't have nobody in life, you have God. God will always, where you get two doors closed, you'll have three doors open.
Rani, I'm really interested to know, because then I'm sure there are people watching today thinking, well, it's all right for you, Rani, it's all right for you, Maria, you're not going through what I'm going through. You're not in this situation. And I know that my life wasn't always easy. I've had many challenges, and I'm just interested to know if you had any kind of prominent breakdowns in your life, and how did you get out of them? What did you learn from them, perhaps, and did they make you stronger?
Yeah, I did. I was one of these women who was very dependent on my husband. I put a lot of weight on. I became, unattractive. I just thought to myself, I'm just going to be like a couch potato, just watch TV, cook the food, bring up my children, not even look after myself. And then one day I just had a wake-up call, and I thought to myself that, you know what, actually I'm better than this, and then I got into a networking event. I went to a few networking events. I joined this MLM company, which was Visalis, which was drinking protein shakes to help you lose weight. When I started losing the weight and became someone totally different, I've always been quite energetic, quite a sociable person. You need to get out and talk to people about it. I never did. The most I could talk to was my mom, my sisters, my friends. But I never got the support I wanted from people from outside. And then when I actually started talking to people, going out more, losing weight, becoming more sociable, I changed my whole image completely. I mean, now my son just had his 18th birthday last year, and his friends actually thought I was his older sister. I'm sure they were just taking the mickey, but made me fantastic. Yeah. Otherwise, I put on so much weight all of a sudden, because if you lose interest in yourself, you lose interest in life within seconds.
Yeah, and I want to ask you next. You talked about how you started investing in yourself. You started putting energy, money into the things that you really wanted to achieve, but also to get that help. Could you tell us, because obviously our theme is relationship, money, and life miracles. Would you be able to share with us how, when you started making an effort for yourself, how did that impact in a positive way on your marriage, if any?
It did, because I started, I changed my whole image. I changed my hair color, my hairstyle, my body, my body shape. I became more sociable. I was going out the house more and leaving my husband to look after the children. So he found that, hang on a minute, she's actually getting a life. She's actually going out. She's enjoying herself. And, that actually puts a big impact on your husband, thinking, you know what, she's actually, in our culture, men think they earn, they can earn more than a woman. But when a woman starts earning more than them, they find it quite competitive. Now, in order to get a balance on that, I did that. I'd say to my husband, you know what, I'm going out on Friday. I've got this networking event in the evening, and I've got this. Because I became more of an organized person and not a disorganized person and a dependent person, I became an independent person. So it's all these facts that I changed. I changed my image, I changed my independency, I changed my social life. I became a different person. I mean, my friends actually say to me, don't you get bored of going out, don't you talk to people? I said, no. I actually think that socializing and talking to people and smiling at people makes the world go round faster than sitting at home and watching a deprived program, or something that's going to make you feel even more rubbish about your own life.
So would you say, as you started to shift your energy, your personal energy, and really attend to your soul, your passion, and putting the sparkle back into your life,
yeah,
would you say that as you started to reignite that sparkle and that magic into your own life, that you then ignited the passion and the magic and the sparkle back into your marriage?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because then that gives that gives your partner, it gives them like a bit of a fear factor that, hang on a minute, that she's doing so much in her life, maybe I might not be, they feel really insecure about you going out all the time. They start feeling that, what, she's going out more than me, and I'm doing this and doing that, and whereas you were always dependent on that person. But when you become a totally different person, they feel even more secure, and they're like, that's when they feel that, hang on a minute, you've actually, we started off on the same running track, and you've actually gone twice around the lap before I've even got around. And this is the biggest thing about men, is they fear women becoming more powerful than them. So therefore, that's why with women empowerment and women who actually do get successful, men actually look at them and think, you know what? I mean, I live in an area where I've been to networking events where men have said, you know what? It's not fair. All you women throw us men out, and you don't give us a chance. It's all about women. It's all about women. But 20 years back, I could remember it was all about men. It was men wearing the top suits, getting the top jobs, driving the top cars, and going to the top restaurants. And now it's fantastic when you walk into a restaurant and there's just women. It's absolutely fantastic having a networking event or a business meeting, or I think it's absolutely fantastic the way the tables have turned completely.
I'm loving your energy, and it's that uplifting energy for women who have maybe lost the connection with their personal power.
Yeah.
Along the way, as we said earlier on, it can happen when you settle down, and maybe you focus all your energy in one place and you forget who you are. And I work with women, and one of the very first exercises we do in one of my live events is writing a list of what they love to do, of just perhaps 10 things. And Rani, I can honestly say to you, most of them don't get past number 2 or even number 1. Some of them just draw a complete blank, because when you've been in a space of taking care of other people for so many years, you forget what you like and you forget who you are. I worked with a client once who had an issue because when she'd go into a restaurant, she would sit round the table and the menus would come out, and she would order for all her children first. When it would come to her turn, she'd be so lost because she'd always done that. She'd always taken care of the other people first. I just love how you are really almost pushing, this movement of strong, independent, fulfilled, centered women who, for me, women are the voice of the future. We are bringing up the next generation and the generation after that. So I'm interested to know, in one sentence, how would you define success?
How I would define success is, if you want it, go for it.
Yeah. What about freedom?
Sorry?
What about the word freedom? How would you define freedom?
People think that when they're married, they don't get no freedom, but they don't realize that being married, you get more freedom than being a single person, because you still come home to people who are waiting for you. But whereas if you're a single person, you don't get no one to talk to apart from the people you've just met outside. Whereas when you come home, you can talk to your children about how your day was. Your children talk to you about how your day was. Your husband comes home and talks about how your day was. The word freedom is such a powerful word that when you have freedom, you don't use it in the right way, and when you don't have it, you abuse it.
I love that point of view. So, last one, how would you define love? Love is in one sentence.
Love is out there. Whether you find the right one at the right time, eventually it will come to you itself.
And Rana, you mentioned your faith and your beliefs. Do you have a daily practice that keeps you feeling so energetic, so alive, so faithful and hopeful and trusting that, what you want is out there for the taking? What do you do every day that keeps you in that space?
Right, I have a little silver statue next to my bed. It's of Shivji. It's a Hindu god. Even though I'm Sikh, I believe in Sikhism, Hinduism. My husband's Hindu Punjabi. Now every single day, I just thank God and I bow to his little statue. I have a little shrine in my room, and I just thank God for each day that I wake up and know that I'm going to have a fantastic day. I'm going to meet lots of people. The first people I greet is my children, and I know that I'm going to have a fantastic day. Even before I sleep at night, I just pray to God that, God, protect me, protect my children, protect everybody who needs protecting, and guide everybody in the right direction. I mean, I've even taught my children to do their prayers when they feel frightened, to just do a little prayer, it'll settle them down. That's ever since they were small. And even now, they're actually really proud to say, that whenever they felt frightened, they feel that God is around them. Always remember God. He's not just there when you need him. You should always remember him, even for no reason.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I've heard that before, and that's a brilliant piece of advice. Rani, if I was to ask you, and I know that you probably have many things and many messages, you've already shared some amazing stuff with us today in the session, but if I was to ask you to end today sharing one passionate message with our audience, what would that be?
Right. Life is all about you. Never put yourself behind anybody else. Always put yourself forward in everything you do. Remember that there's only one you, and it's always going to be about you and no one else. And only you can help yourself.
Such juicy wisdom. Thank you so much. And where can our audience go to connect with you and hang out with you? Have you got a link to share with them today?
It's www.london, LONDON, hyphen, chitchat, that's CHICHAT.com.
Fantastic. So go and check Rani out and hang out with her and absorb some of her amazing energy. Thank you so much, Rani. It's been a pure pleasure, and wishing you all a bliss-filled rest of your day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been